through these first three games. Then next week you lose Yakamakis, possibly Etienne. How much balance do you try to put in terms of lineup choices for this week, knowing those guys aren't going to be available next week?
I'm just focused on this week. I'm not focused on next week. I want to put the best possible lineup for this game against Portland. Then we'll try to worry about Columbus.
Coach, speaking to Anthony Hudson yesterday, he mentioned that in calling up Miles, like they had a plan in place that they spoke to the club. Were you part of those conversations, just with the U.S. Men's National Team, how to handle Miles in this upcoming camp?
No, I wasn't part of those conversations, but I'm aware of the conversations.
How do you feel about Miles going now, considering obviously he's in good form, but it's still early in his recovery? What's your thoughts there, considering that he's a very important player for you?
Yeah, well, it is his right? It's his national team, so it's all about heart and feeling coming back to your national team. I'm sure Miles is motivated to come back, so I'm happy for him on that, which is obviously on the physical side. There are some things that we as a club we express to the national team that we think we should work together on how to progress Miles, which I think they were very respectful and understanding those situations. And I think it's going to be just fine. I'm not worried at all at Miles going there, because I know the U.S. soccer takes good care of our players and we have good communication, so I'm not worried about that.
I asked Brad a similar question, but again, looking around, I think this might be right. I don't think Atlanta has started undefeated in their history. What is that a sign of, in your opinion, of this current?
Honestly, those stats, and people told me, the best start of Atlanta United in the first three games and all that. Honestly, for me, just focus on game by game. Every game is different, and you saw it. In the first game, probably we didn't play our best game and we won. Second one, we played a little bit better and we tied. The third one was a completely different game in terms of the style, and we didn't dominate possession, but we looked very solid. We scored 3 goals earlier. We managed very well the game. So every game presents different challenges, and I'm not focused on beaten on that. At some point, every team loses. It's just a matter of continuing with the development of the team and the ethos of the team and the culture of the team and the style of the team, the cohesion of the team. So it's about game by game progressing our game, and that's all is in my mind. Then hopefully, yes, we can start to get more of the best of this, the best of that. But that will come if we start to think game by game and focus on killing one game at a time.
Is the team where you think it should be, based on the preseason that you have, the form of the players after 3 matches and after training? Are they in a place where you thought they would be, perhaps tactically, understanding the evolution you went to the ethos? Is this still a build towards perhaps summer where you want to see something different? Where's the team right now in your eyes?
Honestly, it's a bit better than I expected, to be honest. The cohesion, the mentality, how to manage certain moments. And I'm talking about the cohesion because if you remember, Derek Etienne was injured for most of the preseason. We didn't have Giacomakis until late in the preseason. The same with Abra. So there were a couple, ups and downs, some injuries, the fracture of the bone with Omar, Santi with a fracture in the hand, Tyler with the shoulder. So we, at some point, it was challenging to do the training sessions and that in the preseason. So we had a couple challenges there. So I wasn't expecting this level of cohesion and understanding in the first few games. But good that we are in this moment now, and now, as players start to be reintegrated in the team, Eric Lopez is back in the team, he's training back with us. So all of that is, just adding more competition and hopefully more cohesion to the team.
Why is that, Mike? Why was he up with the twos for a while and now back with the first team?
Well, we decided that he needed to do a little bit of that process with the twos initially, and then I had a very good conversation with him where I set expectations, and then we felt confident that from now on he was going to be a good player, a good member of the squad, and we felt it was necessary to have that process.
Do you see him as a striker, which he was originally signed to play, or as a winger, which he got turned into?
Yeah, I think he's one of those players can play multiple positions. We know in Olympia he was a number 9, he scored a few goals, Copa Libertadores, all that. I think he's mobile as well. He can play a false 9 role, a double 9 where he drops a bit more on beneath and he's kind of in behind. a little bit of an 8-10 in between the pockets, and from there arrive from second line into the box. And also he's been playing in the second team as a winger, so I think he's one of those that can give us multiple options, same as matchups, same as Tyler. There are a few of those that can play multiple positions, Caleb, and he's good for the team. He's having more options.
Portland's injury list is very, very long. We're assuming, like most opponents, are going to come in and bunker against y'all, trying to play a low block. Are you satisfied with the team's progress in trying to break those down?
Well, first of all, no assumptions. Portland, if I know something about Portland, is they are always competitive, especially with Gio. Like no matter who they put on the field, they are always competitive, battle, fight for every ball. So I know that side, so I don't think they're a team that are going to be feeling sorry for themselves for having a lot of injuries. They are going to come with everything, trying to win and try to beat us. So no assumptions at all. It's for me more the process of how we do that. I understand your question. Most of the time we've been dominating possession in bends, and how we do that, I would say, around the world is something that is very difficult to do. It's not easy to have 11 players on 30 by 76 yards and put a player with time and space in front of the goal to score goals. So it's not easy to do. But we're working on that. Today was a bit tactical on different scenarios. One of those was that, breaking a low block. The team did very well. We scored a couple goals, and we're happy with that. Obviously, in the game, it's always different challenge, different tactics. Maybe they play 4-4-2, 5-3-2, whatever lineup they come up. We need to be able to find the solutions. Part of that is just the principles. How we are doing that, regardless of the positioning, I put them in the pockets, outside, inside, 3 on the back, 2 in the middle. Regardless of that, is playing with tempo, play in a sprint, play fast the ball, move them side to side, trying to unbalance them by the quality of our passes, but with pace. And that's kind of the main thing we're talking about. Also runs in behind, wall passes, counter movement. So a lot of things to throw out there to have different options to break a back line of 5 or 6 or 4. We need to work on that, and that's the evolution. Throughout the season, we will continue with improvement.
What have you thought about the team's ability to press and counter press, especially the last couple of games?
Very good. It's getting better and better. I would say that someone asked me before a couple of weeks ago, like if we wanted to press high every time, and yes, we want that, but at times you saw the differences. We were winning already, and then the team kind of settled in the middle block, lower block, and we were very comfortable there as well. So happy with the moments we identified the cues to press and the areas where we want to press, and after that it's not about the pressing, it's about the transition to attack. After that is the runs, the inner runs, occupying the right spaces. Always talk about the opposite side being open. That's what happened with Caleb. So happy with all of that, and the team is feeling comfortable with that style, which is very good for me.
How much does having a striker like Miguel help with that pressing, kind of pressing?
Yes, it helps. I mean, and I would say to everyone, you talk about desire, passion. Second half, even Yakumakis was defending across here on our own box, and Thiago Almada won a ball there in our back line against a tall player in the middle, and he was shooting the ball there in our own third. And then Luis drops back as well, and those attacks, like everybody is involved in attacking, everybody's involved in defending, and it's not just the 9. Miguel, Yaku, both are doing a great job on that, but it's Thiago, it's Luis, it's Derek, it's Caleb, it's Brooks, it's everyone is fully committed. That's what I like. That's what you as a coach always want. Everybody committed to the same cause.
What's Mateus' status for Saturday?
Same. He's out for the game. He hasn't trained with us. He's very close. He's already working on the field, but still, I don't think he's going to be available for the game.
What's Ozzy's timeline?
Still working on that. It's been a bit a slower progression than we're expecting for sure. But the good thing is now he's in a very good place. He's progressing and evolving now quickly. So I don't want to give you an expected time to return, but yeah, we're trying to make sure that when he comes back properly, and that's the main focus right now.
You've seen him hard.
Very good. I mean, even last year, a lot of people criticized me for putting Amar and all that in the rotation in the midfield. And at times, I think we underestimate his abilities to press and we see him as a little guy that maybe is more on the ball and is more the connector and that. Yes, he's very good on that, but he's a very smart player to press. He's not like just the physical ability like Ibarra, DeSantis, that they have the physicality to go and challenge for a ball. Isamar is smart. It's how he presses, what angle, how he blocks passing lanes, the timing of that, the visual cues to the ball goes side to side to the center back, and he's the one that jumping at the right time, blocking the forward pass. So he did a lot of those little things that helped the team. The first goal is a great pressure from him. So again, happy with him in there. Same as Rossetto the other day, he was very good. And I know if I put Gianni is the same and Santi is the same. Like I have a good group of midfielders that I think everyone adds something to our game, and everyone is going to be important.
We've seen marked improvement in defending set pieces this season. Is Brad being back a big factor in that? Have you just better scouting, maybe better understanding of where to be positioning? What's led to this success defending those set pieces?
It's a little bit of everything you just said, right? So last year, yes, the goalkeeper kind of, not just the quality, but the understanding of the roles. Purata helped a lot. If you remember, first part of the season, we were not that good in set pieces. When Purata arrived, also helped that. Miles is a monster there, like how he defends the set pieces. So he's having two very good pieces there. Miguel is very good in the air, in that near post space. Yaku is the same. We have guys also that mark man for man, because we have some hybrid style or tactic to defend the set pieces, where some guys are more man for man, some others are more zonal, and the guys man for man are also doing a good job at blocking the guys and making sure they don't get the first header. So it's a collective effort. Diego, my assistant, is the main one on set pieces, and he's doing a good job with them, watching film. So it's a bit of everything that help to be a bit better on set pieces.
Gonzalo, two quick questions for you. First of all, I was the one that asked you after Toronto if you're going to press.
Oh yeah,
often.
I was okay. Yeah.
And you mentioned that that should be a goal at home. I noticed against Toronto, the team was committed. They were very effective, especially in touchdowns. In preseason, you mentioned that you sort of reflected on the last season, that being a bit more pragmatic in parts of the field was something you wanted to incorporate. Where is that happening? Is that something that you're seeing in terms of perhaps game management? Where do you see that happening?
Well, it can be for me. I was talking about the reflection of last year with the group of players I had available for that part of the season, and where I tried to continue with pressing high, and I had a very young team and kind of unexperienced team, and I was trying the same, which I'm proud of, but at the same time, the reflection comes, was that the right idea to get the results? But I think now we're seeing kind of the benefits of that is we don't doubt on doing things, and that's a good side. Now, when it comes to the opponents and playing away, playing at home, it depends on the opponents, type of opponents that we face. If they're good at playing from the back, if they are not that good, if we are confident on pressing high in certain moments, if we're confident more with the middle block, and from there we know there's going to be a space for us to transition in attack. There are tactics, game plans, scouting. There are many things involved in how we approach the game. So again, game by game, we will make those decisions. Overall, yes, we want to press high, we want to be aggressive, we want to regain the balls as soon as possible, but there might be some games where maybe we'll do a little bit different, and that's part of the game plan.
And then my last question, you obviously know Garth really well. Is there anything that you've noticed that he's incorporated here at the club, whether it's culture-wise, a leadership style, an approach to management? Is there anything that you're noticing that Garth is doing here now?
Well, I think it's just a short period of time, right, to really notice the big changes that I'm sure he's gonna put in all of us. What I notice is he's been very open in the conversations, been always like that since Seattle. He likes good communication. He likes to be involved in many things. He wants to know what's going on, and we're happy with that. We're a very open coaching staff. We are data-driven, the same as he is. So I think there are a lot of things that I know that he likes that we already do, and he's gonna start to put his mark on the team as well. But he needs time. He's more of a methodical guy that does that by years, not just 2-3 months. So we'll see. So far, very good. The communication with him has been very open. With him and Carlos and I, we've been in constant communication. So everything so far is good. Okay.
Have y'all been able to use any of the information provided by the new data partners? Yeah.
Not yet, but I mean, I know Ravi is a good friend of mine. Is very, very good in what he does. And we had last week, meetings and communication about kind of what we're going to do with that, but he's not yet kind of helping full time. We're starting the process in that, but I'm sure he's going to help us massively on that department. But data analyst, we like always good information, good data that helps the soccer side, and I think he's going to help massively to that regard. So